Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today our topic is Android bottom navigation and drawer navigation using navigation jetpack component. I had videos on Android navigation component, and since then I got a request from some of my viewers to do a video on bottom navigation. So I am doing this video for them. In this tutorial I will show not only the bottom navigation but also navigation through drawer layout. So before starting any coding, I would like to show you what we are going to build today. So this is our app. This is very simple app. There is no special UI. Actually, we have three fragments, and we can navigate through these three fragments with the help of the bottom navigation. You see, click here. You just go to the news and profile, and we can go back to our home by pressing back button or pressing the up button, navigation up button. And we also have the drawer layout and having the same navigation facilities in the navigation drawer. So, and you can go anywhere. Okay, so this is our app, and this app we are going to build today from scratch. Let's open the Android Studio and create a new project. Select an empty activity and give a name of this project. Yes. Navigation. Finish. Well, as I have told that we will use three fragments in our project, and before doing anything we will add dependencies in our Gradle build.gradle. So go to our build.gradle, and I will just copy paste. I have already written this, and I will also put this dependencies in description box, so you can also simply copy and paste in your project. This is the dependencies, and another dependency for the navigation and the drawer layout. Okay, paste it here and just simply sync our project. The next thing I would like to do, I will create three XML files for three fragments. Actually, this three UI files for these fragments, and we will create. And this layout design is very simple, just a text box inside. So layout resource file, and name it fragment home, fragment underscore home. It's a constant layout, and I will just copy and paste it here, and it's a test view. Alt enter, and you see the design. Let's make it little bigger so you can see it easily. So this is our fragment, home fragment. We will do the same copy paste. Oh, okay. One thing we will add data binding here. So go to our code and select the constant layout and press Alt enter and convert to data binding layout. Okay, just click it. I will select all the entire layout file, and the next thing I will going to do, I will create another two fragments, and all those contents of this XML layout are same, just I will make change on the text field and the ID field maybe, and rest of this those are same. So I will go real first. All right, we now have nice three little fragments and fragment layout. Actually, now we will create the real fragments and navigations and connect those fragment through the navigation. Let's create our fragments. Go to our package in here and right click and select kotlin the fragment here, fragment blank, and name it first home fragment. And we do not need any layout, we do not create any layout XML or anything like that. So as we have already created the layout, so we just skipping it and finish. Now another thing is we create a variable, let init var, name is binding, and this type will be the name of this type, the fragment home. Okay, so fragment home, as we have already created the data binding, so it will be fragment home binding, and here we just delete this and write and write binding equals fragment binding dot inflate, and it will be inflator. Okay, and lastly we will return binding dot root. Okay, fine. So we have created the home fragment, and I'll just simply copy those two lines, and we reuse it in those other two fragments also. So we will quickly create those two fragments. Fragment blank, simply do not need them, and it will be news fragment. I create a variable, the same thing, boilerplate code, let init var binding, and it will be type of fragment news binding. So fragment news binding, and in this two line we will just paste those lines we previously copied, and it will be no more fragment home binding, it will be fragment news binding. Okay, fragment news binding. Okay, and another fragment, we name it profile fragment. So let init var, okay, let it more little more prettier. So let init var binding, and it will be fragment profile binding, and it will be fragment profile binding. Okay, that's it. So we have created our fragments. Now what we will do, we will create a navigation graph for those fragments. Okay, so we go to our resource folder, and we will create another directory. The name of the directory will be the navigation. So right click here and create Android resource directory, and we name it, directory name is navigation. You can give any name, and the values will be navigation. Okay, and we select the navigation and right click and say new navigation resource file. I will give the name as app_navigation. Now we will go to our design section, and we can simply add those all our newly created fragment here. Okay, those fragment has appeared. Those are home fragment, news fragment, and profile fragment. We first create the home fragment, and home fragment will be the starting point for our app. Okay, and we will add another two fragment, news fragment and profile fragment. Okay, at this stage I will not create any action between those fragment. I will just simply add those fragment here. No action is required right now. Actually, for our bottom navigation or drawer navigation, we do not need any action unless otherwise we create any button in the any of our fragment. So we'll left it here like this. The next thing we will do, we will create a nav host fragment. We need a fragment host fragment to host all those fragments inside the activity. So we go to our main activity.xml file, and here go to the text, and we do not need the text view. Rather than I will make it a fragment. Fragment. Okay, and I'll make it the width match parent, and I do not need any text here. Rather I will create an ID. The ID will be ID host fragment, and I need to select a name that so it will be name will be android.x dot navigation dot fragment dot nav host fragment. Okay, and we also need to say the compiler that it is our default nav host fragment. So app default nav host, it will be true, and here we also need to introduce our navigation graph. So it will be app nav graph, it will be app navigation. We just created that app navigation, this file, and that's it. We can at this stage we can run our project and see what we can see in our project app. So run our project. Well, I have made a little mistake, that is it will be default nav host, the n will be in capital letter. So I give a run again, and in our emulator we can see the default or starting fragment is here, because we have selected the home fragment as our starting fragment. You see the starting fragment is our home fragment, so it is here. But we have not defined any bottom navigation or drawer navigation yet, so we cannot go to there is no way to go other navigations like news fragment or profile fragment, which we will create in couple of minutes. But in this stage we can see, yes, our fragments and activities all are working fine. For drawer navigation or bottom navigation, whatever you use, we need a menu to basically tell the SDK to draw some menus in our bottom navigation or drawer navigation. And for this reason we will create a menu item, and that name will be navigation menu, and we will go to the res folder and create a directory, which type will be menu and the name will be menu, and we press OK, and inside select our menu directory and create a menu resource file, and the name of the file will be navigation_menu, and we click OK. But I have forgotten one thing. As we have icons with our we will have icon with our bottom navigation and drawer navigation. So I already have created some icon which we will just copy paste in our drawable folder. Okay, so go to our file, and these are the icons, and paste it here. Okay, we got everything. Now we go back to a navigation menu, and we are going to create some items. There are 3 items, so it will be item, and every item has ID, title and icon. So the ID will be Android ID, and please give your attention that the ID we need to give some attention. So the ID will be same as the IDs we have used in the navigation graph. Okay, this is app navigation graph, and we have IDs for these 3 fragments: home fragment, news fragment and profile fragment. We should have the same ID in the menu or navigation_menu. So it will be ID home fragment, the title will be home, and the icon will be I think this icon I see home. Okay, so be I see home, and we will simply copy and paste it 2 times and do some modifications. It will be news fragment, the title will be news, and it will be I see news, and this one will be profile fragment, it will be profile, and the icon will be I see profile. So our menu has been created. We can also have a look from our design view, and this is the menu, and this same thing will be the same menu will be used in the bottom navigation as well as in the drawer navigation. Okay, now we will create a bottom navigation in our main activity. So on the activity with the main XML, and here at the very bottom, before the constant layout end, we will create a tag. Its name will be bottom navigation. So, and bottom navigation, this one, bottom navigation, and its layout width will be match parent, and height will be wrap content. Okay, and we give it a ID. The ID will be bottom navigation, and as it is inside our constant layout, it will be constrained to the bottom of our layout. So we simply copy it right, left and bottom and paste it underneath here. Also we can give it any color, so the color maybe, or I guess it's background color. Okay, okay, background. So background will be with anything, like I given in an arbitrary thing, C1, D1, maybe E1. Okay, this is the background color. And what else? And the most important thing, we have to declare the app or menu. So it will be menu, and the menu will be, we'll just created the navigation menu, this one, this navigation menu. Okay, this will be the menu. Go back to our activity main. So it will be menu, and we simply close it. Okay. Now we have to do some work in our kotlin file also to actually set up our bottom navigation. So we go back to our main activity, and inside the onCreate view we create a variable. So variable would be nav controller, and it will be find nav controller. It will be r.id.host fragment. By the way, this host fragment is that host fragment in the main activity. Inside the main inside the activity underscore main, this is the fragment. Okay, so this is the idea of the host fragment. This one we are referring. Okay, now we will simply say bottom navigation. By the way, this bottom navigation is the ID of this our bottom navigation. So it will be bottom navigation dot set nav controller, set up with nav controller. This is the function, and inside it we will give it as a parameter, and I think we have done. So I will run this app. Hopefully we will get our nice bottom navigation. Okay, so let's open our emulator, and we see there is a bottom navigation, and when I click the news, it goes to the news fragment. When I click click profile, it goes to the profile anything, and when I click the back button, it will go to the our home fragment, our starting fragment, and then when we inside the home fragment, if we click the back button once more, it will leave the application. So everything is working fine. So our bottom navigation part is done. So I think you have enjoyed the bottom navigation, but later on this tutorial I will also do some modifications on bottom navigation and also create the drawer navigation drawer. Up until now our app is working fine, but we have a little problem. Problem number one is so far the only navigation only back button we are using is the physical back button, but according to material design, we have to use a arrow button on the action bar, which is also called navigation up button. And problem number two is when we click the news or any bottom navigation, yes, the fragment is changing, but we also want to see the fragment name on the action bar. So we will address this kind of we'll solve this kind of issues in this section using the navigation up button. So let's add a navigation up in our action bar. Okay, so for this we will create a latent var. It will be Appbar configuration. This is Appbar configuration, and okay, these two lines will work for bottom navigation. So I just give a comment to understand better. Bottom navigation, and in this section we will create a navigation up button. So navigation button. Okay, now we will simply app navigation, just instantiate it. So it will be app bar configuration, and it will be nav controller dot graph. Okay, so nav controller dot graph, it will just return the graph. Okay, I think we need to modify this one also. Just create a let init variable. So let init var nav controller with the type of nav controller, and we need we'll delete the val. Okay, great. Now our app configuration has been created, but we will add this a little arrow. So for the little arrow we have a class named navigation UI, and dot it has a function name set up action bar with nav controller, and we will simply this is the our activity this, and it will be nav controller. Okay, so this line will create a nice little arrow button here. And the next thing we need to do, if we click the arrow button, we need to go to the exact fragment. So we have a we need to override a function which name is on support navigate up. We will override it outside our onCreate view. So onCreate, so it will be outside on support navigate up, and we have a pre-built class named navigation UI which will help us to navigate to the exact fragment. So it will be navigate UI dot navigate up, and it will be nav controller, our nav controller, and this Appbar configuration. So an Appbar configuration. So hopefully our app will run fine. Okay. Oh, I forgot the write the return function, return keyword. So it's return, and we run our app. So I open the emulator, and when I go to the any fragment, we can see the nice little arrow button here. This is the navigation up button. So when I click here, we go to the home fragment, and we also notice that the name of the fragment is shown on in the action bar, which was so our both of our problems has been solved. But the second problem brings us a little issue, that it is showing the ID of the fragment, not the name of the fragment. And when I use the news fragment, when a user see it make no sense to him. The news fragment, what the hell is the fragment? So we will create a custom title for our fragment. This can be done very easily. We go to our navigation graph. This is our navigation graph, and here the home fragment, the label here, we just change the label. The home fragment label is home, the profile fragment label will be the profile, and the news fragment profile will be the news. And we run our app once again. So from our emulator, now we can see this is our home. It is showing home instead of home fragment, which was little weird, and news and profile. So everything is working fine. So we have created an navigate up, and also add a custom label on the fragment. So the last part of our this video tutorial is adding drawer navigation. For adding the drawer navigation, we will go to the activity main XML file, and here we will create a drawer layout at the top of the this XML, and and it will be the drawer layout will be the main view group, the parent view group of this XML layout. So we just collapse the constant layout and give a tab here, and here we create the drawer layout. Okay, so drawer layout, and it will be we give a ID. The ID will okay. The first thing we do, we just copy these 3 lines here, actually cut these 3 lines and add these 3 lines here. So and we give it a name id, we give it id will be id drawer layout, and the width and height will be match parent, and height also will be the match parent. Okay, and we cut this line and add to the very end of this and give it a little tab. Okay, and we also need to add another view, which will be a navigation view. The name of the view is navigation view, just before closing of the drawer layout. So it will be navigation view, and the navigation view has the width of wrap content and height of match parent. The ID will be navigation view, and this navigation view, by the way, is a part of our drawer layout. Okay, and the layout gravity layout I think it will be okay, so it will be Android layout. Sometimes I my this suggestion doesn't work. I don't know why this is happening. So layout gravity, okay, we start. And the most important thing is we need to, just like we use in the bottom navigation here, the navigation menu, we also need to add this navigation menu. By the way, we are using the same navigation menu. In your real life project, maybe this will be different. So it will be menu will be navigation menu, and that's it. So we create a drawer layout at the very top, and before just closing the drawer layout, we add a navigation view, which is also a part of drawer layout. The next thing, we need to do some work in the Kotlin file. So we go back to our main activity, and here we see the nav controller, okay, here we see the Appbar configuration, and inside the Appbar configuration, when we use the nav controller.graph, we add another parameter, which will be drawer layout, drawer underscore layout. By the way, drawer layout is the ID of our drawer layout. Okay, and we also add another parameter, drawer layout, here with the setup action bar with nav controller. So it will be drawer layout, and the final finishing touch is, okay, let me give a comment here. So it will be drawer layout, and the final thing, drawer layout, and the final thing, maybe it is drawer navigation. And final thing, we will attach the navigation view. By the way, this is the navigation view, inside the drawer layout. We will attach the navigation view with our navigation UI class. So it will be navigation UI dot set up nav controller. It will be navigation view dot navigation view, and not dot, comma nav controller. Okay, and we build our app. Hopefully our app will work. So in our emulator, finally we got a navigation drawer navigation, and when I click the navigation drawer, we got the navigation menu here. And if I click the profile, it go to the profile, go back, and if I click to the news, it go to the news, and everything is working fine. Okay, and our navigation drawer is working really great, but one thing is missing. Something is missing. Like most of the you see in real life, most of the navigation drawer has a nice little picture and title here, which is also called a navigation header. And why not we have a navigation header? We are going to apply it real life, so let's create a navigation header for our navigation drawer. Create a navigation drawer header is relatively very simple. We go to our res and layout and create a layout resource file, and name will be drawer header, drawer underscore header, and here okay, so the height will be the width will be match parent wrap content, so wrap content, and the height will be I think 192 dp. If you want to a larger larger header, you can use any number. So, and we give a background color, so the color background will be I will use color accent, and okay, that's it. And I think we need a padding, some padding here, so padding will be say 30 dp in each direction, and inside it I will create a image view. So it will be, and I want to set the image view inside the constraint layout at the middle, so it will be 0 dp and 0 dp, and source will be this thing. I think we have a drawable this foreground. Okay, so let me jump foreground, and okay, we need to attach to the constraint layout. So I will just do one thing. We just go to here, and from the fragment we just copy paste this line, these 4 lines there. So copy here and paste it there, and Alt enter, and hopefully let me show how it will look like. Oh, I think it will be better to have match parent, then it will look better. Okay, and let's add it to our navigation view. So inside our drawer layout we go to the navigation view, and here we will create header layout. In the header layout we will drawer, we just create a drawer underscore header, and we run our app once again. Let's open our emulator and see. When we open our emulator, we see the header and with an image. You may add any title here or subtitle here, that's your choice, but the main thing is our drawer layout is full functional, our bottom navigation is full functional, and we have successfully created bottom navigation and drawer navigation. So that's all about this tutorial. Let me know if you have liked this tutorial or not, and if you have find any problem, please let me know in the comment box, and also tell me, you can suggest me or ask me from what type of tutorial I will make in the next video. And if you like the video, smash the like button and subscribe if you not subscribed yet, and hope you enjoyed the video, and till to the next video, thank you for watching.